Namaste and welcome to Tridevi Chamunda Mandir in Denver, Colorado. I'm Yamajit. So glad you could join me this evening for part 16 of our series, Meditations of the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Uh, the themes around today's meditations will be desires and also the nature of knowledge. Before we begin, I'd like to start out with some announcements because we have a very busy 9 days coming up because it is Navaratri, the 9 nights of Mother Divine. And I'm going to read just a very short introduction. Navaratri literally means 9 nights. This ritual is observed twice a year in the spring and the autumn. Vasanta Navaratri, or Spring Navaratri, is 9 days of fasting and worship that Hindus undertake during the spring of every year. The Divine Mother, or Devi in all of her forms, is worshipped during Vasanta Navaratri. By tradition at Tridevi Chamunda Mandir, we will honor each of the Dasha Mahavidyas, that is the 10 great wisdom goddesses, with daily pujas. Also, during the meditational phase of each puja ceremony, I will share a portion of the goddess-centered scriptures known as the Shakta Upanishads. The entire collection of these short scriptural writings will be covered during the festival. And then please note the times for each of the puja. The pujas on April 8th and 9th will be broadcast only. All the others you're welcome to attend in person. So I'm just going to go through the schedule real quick. So the first day is Friday, April 1st, no fooling. 7 p.m. We'll be honoring the goddess Kali. Saturday the 2nd, our puja will be at noon. We'll be honoring the goddess Tara. On April 3rd, also at noon, the goddess Sudashi, also known as Tripura Sundari. Monday the 4th will be 7 p.m. with the mother goddess Bhuvaneshwari. Tuesday the 5th at 6 p.m., the goddess Bhairava. I'll be doing approximately an hour-long puja. Then at 7 o'clock, we'll be doing a Kriya Yoga satsang. Anybody who has done Kriya with us or would like to learn are welcome to join us at that time. It's going to be in person only and not broadcasted. Wednesday the 6th, 7 p.m., the goddess Chinnamasta, who I discussed a bit last Friday during our puja. Thursday the 7th, 7 o'clock, the two goddesses Dhumavati and Baglamukhi, who it's customary to honor on the same night during Navaratri. Friday the 8th is going to be at noon, and we're going to be honoring the goddess Matangi. And the reason we're having it at noon that day is I'm starting a training retreat on jaw practice, which I've already started a series of meditations on. And it's an opportunity for me to learn the real traditional form of this practice. If anybody else might be interested in this training, it's being held online by the Drala, D-R-A-L-A, Mountain Center, what used to be called the Shambhala Mountain Center. And there's a sliding scale for tuition, and also there's some scholarships available. It'd be wonderful if some of you locally here in Denver might be interested in that training. It'd be fun to have a nice little practice group afterwards. Anyway, Saturday the 9th, the puja will be at 1 p.m. We'll be honoring the goddess Kamla. Sunday the 10th, we won't have a puja, part due to the training that I'm doing, and also because in honor of Shiva Sai Mandir's Victory Day, the final celebration of Navaratri. So I don't want to conflict with that. But we will be doing our own Victory Day celebration on Monday, April 11th at 7 p.m. And we'll be doing a puja to all 10 of the great wisdom or Mahavidya goddesses. If you have any questions as to the upcoming pujas, please feel free to email me at the temple email, omcdevi, that's AUMC Devi, at gmail.com. Also, please drop me an email if you'd like to get our monthly email newsletter as well. So again, namaste and welcome. And let's go right into our opening puja and then into our meditations. We'll be doing 3 different meditations this evening. First one will be based on 3 different verses, the remaining 2 on single verses from our Tantra. So turn the camera toward our altar. Yeah. And I invite you to make yourselves comfortable. Find a comfortable seat where your back can be straight and your breath can be full. It can be seated on the floor like I am, or in a straight back chair. That will work as well. Actually, these meditations could also be done lying on your back in Shavasana, if that's what speaks to you this evening. They'll be closed-eyed, deep breathing meditations. But I invite you to take a moment and close your eyes. And let's begin with some deep breathing. Just taking this time to relax and prepare for tonight's workings. Letting go of the distractions of past and future. Letting your awareness be in this present moment, giving this time for yourself, for exploration, for learning, and as always, becoming closer to the divine within and without. And slowly bringing the palms of your hands together at your heart center. Let's open our practice by chanting Om 3 times. Inhale. Om. Pavitra Pavitrova Sarvavastam Gatopiva Yashmare Pandarikaksham Sabhyavyanta Sushi. Om Shuklam Bharanam Vishnum Sashivanam Shutovijam Prasanavanam Dayat Sarvavigno Prasantaye Jaganesha. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshvara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Jai Guru. Om Triambakam Yajamaye Sagandim Pushtivardhanam Urdvarukamiva Bandhanan Matyur Mukshiyamamritat. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Jayanti Mangalakali Bhadrakali Kapalani Durga Shama Shiva Datri Svasvada Namostute Jayatvam Devi Chamunde Jayabhutita Harani Jaya Sarvagati Devi Kalaratri Namostute. Jai Ma Kali. Om Aing Klim Chamundai Viche. 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 Jai Ma. Om Namah Shivaya. So I invite you again to make yourselves comfortable, sitting so that your breath can be full with a straight back, rolling the shoulders back, closing your eyes, breathing deeply. breathing out any tensions or distractions. Breathing in a sense of relaxation and peace. So at this point, I invite you to think about and remember a strong desire that you've had most recently. The first strong desire you remember coming to memory. Just think back on it. What was it that drew your attention at that time? And now bring your attention to that initial flash or pulse of that desire. Just remember the moment that first occurred. Your first sense of attraction to that object. And then just let yourself stay with this initial impulse before it turns into any kinds of thoughts or images. Just feel the energy of that moment itself, free of context, pulsating, surging, flashing. So now I invite you to check in with your body. Is there somewhere physically where you feel that same energy of that desire? Just draw your awareness and your breath to that place physically for a while. And as you breathe in and out of that area, just allow yourself to witness whatever might come into your realm of awareness. Just be there in that place with that energy. And as you do this, let this be an opportunity to learn that your desires and thoughts are nothing but your own consciousness in that form during that given moment, both physically and mentally. We experience so many times desire in our mind, and we also feel it as a physical thing. And as you breathe into that physical region, begin to notice that area slowly beginning to relax. Feel the tension leaving you. And notice that your thoughts and desires relax as well. With that relaxation, notice this open, free space of your consciousness. Just stay with this moment of inner knowing for a while. This is how worlds are created, both within and without. So now I invite you to ask yourself silently this question. Before desire and knowledge arises in me, who am I? Who am I? What is the first answer that comes to you? And then let yourself become still and just follow your thoughts and desires back to that place where they come from and stay there a while. Allowing yourself to become absorbed in the space of pure awareness and potential, that place that exists prior to thoughts and desires. And know that this is you at a purely undifferentiated level before you have become anything. This is your true nature, completely free, unbounded consciousness. Continue to let go into that pure consciousness and just identify with it. Allow yourself to be it. And then take a deep and clearing breath, letting go of the meditation for the time being. Checking in with yourself and just noticing how you're feeling at this very minute. And then slowly opening your eyes and just keeping them open at a relaxed gaze. And listen to the verses from our Tantra that correspond to this meditation. Observe a flash of desire at the moment it springs up. Put an end to it, and there alone, become absorbed. That's verse 96 of the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Before desire and knowledge arises in me, who am I? I am that. Become absorbed in and identified with this understanding until you are one with it. That's verse 97. And finally, when a desire or knowledge arises, focus intently on the understanding that it is nothing but your own consciousness. And you will then realize the essence of all creative principles. That's verse 98. So these three forms of meditation focus on where we place our attention. Usually we notice only the material objects of our desires, particularly strong desires. They seem solid because they are a thing that has a grip on us. When we move our attention from the content of a desire to the energy behind the surface appearance of this desire, its perceived hold on us dissolves and we begin to feel much freer. Desires are really just a form of conscious energy where we identify ourselves with and as that desired object or that desired person even. So in part of the meditation, you are directed to ask about your identity before developing the desire or thought. And this powerful question redirects our attention to the unconditioned awareness from which our thoughts and desires appear and into which they disappear. So in this meditation, rather than trying to find this unconditioned awareness by blocking a specific thought or desire, we moved our attention to just the pure awareness that existed before we got lost in that desire. And this is the pure awareness that existed prior to those thoughts, prior to that desire. We have a tendency to project parts of our unconscious psyche onto objects and onto persons, resulting in creating those desires and attachments. And if we forget this basic truth, our desires and thoughts seem to have an independent existence all their own. So when we fail to recognize desires to be our own consciousness, that appears for a moment in this form, and we react to these thoughts as if they were a concrete reality, materially true, and with an existence separate from ourselves. And this is another example of a power that we talked about last week called Maya, which means illusion or delusion. So focusing our desires and thoughts can keep us bound to just the surface of our awareness, and it causes us to miss the greater foundational parts of ourselves. So this meditation can be done anytime, like we just did using a memory, but we can also try this meditation when we find ourselves catching a desire as it occurs in real time. Just step back, think about that desire that's developing and where it's coming from. And I invite you to try this again and again when you first catch that desire grabbing your attention. So I invite you now, we're going to go into our second meditation, this one focused on the nature of knowledge. So again, close your eyes, breathe deeply. Just take a moment to let go of the previous experience. Clear the mind and prepare for the next experience. So now I invite you to silently repeat to yourself the following phrases. From the perspective of the highest reality, all knowledge is baseless, deceptive, and without cause. It doesn't belong to anybody. From the perspective of the highest reality, all knowledge is baseless, deceptive, and without cause. It doesn't belong to anybody. From the perspective of the highest reality, all knowledge is baseless, deceptive, and without cause. It doesn't belong to anyone. So let yourself contemplate this for a while. And just allow yourself to become free as you contemplate these words. From the perspective of the highest reality, all knowledge is baseless, deceptive, and without cause. It doesn't belong to anybody. Contemplate this and become free. So that's verse 99 of the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. I invite you now to take another deep and clearing breath. Just letting go of this meditation. And again, just checking in with yourself. Just notice how you're feeling and the effects of the experience. And slowly open your eyes, again keeping a relaxed gaze. So this meditation related to there's many spiritual traditions like them that regard our waking life as a dream or an illusion, a form of Maya itself. So from this perspective, it is the field of pure energy potential that creates an infinite number of realities. So you can think of our personal mental formulations as being like little fireflies buzzing around for a moment in a shaft of moonlight. They're not capable of even beginning to describe the full totality of their existence. So if we keep thinking and just dwelling on those thoughts, we're just going to stay trapped within them. Then really just a tiny sphere of mental formulation. So these ideas that we get are useful for describing things on many levels of reality, but they can't really describe the field of infinite potential itself, that divine consciousness behind all things and all persons. It's like trying to experience the whole universe by gazing from a dark room through a tiny hole in the wall. So this practice of consciously questioning the validity of our thoughts, of any thought, and of recognizing the limitations of all thoughts we regard to the bigger picture, is really a powerful way of shifting our attention into the thought-free state. So this meditation can help to free us from the trap of our thoughts by pointing out that from an awakened perspective, all thoughts are by nature limiting and deceptive. All they can do is describe just one piece of a much greater puzzle. Even ideas of the highest truth are just that, ideas about the highest truth, and not the actual experience of that reality. Ideas can point toward the truth, but at some point we need to leave them behind and enter directly into that experience. There's a famous Zen proverb: the finger pointing at the moon is not the moon. And as we begin to recognize the limiting nature of our thoughts, we can catch glimpses of a much greater reality in which our thoughts appear and disappear, released from the prison of our opinions and limited perceptions. We're now free to let go and enter the thought-free experience of oneness. And this is really a recurring goal expressed in many of the meditations described in the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. The Tantra is really a description of 112 different pathways to that source. So let's do our final meditation. I invite you to once again close your eyes and breathe deeply. And just let go of the previous experiences. Clear your mind and bring your awareness back to just this present moment. So with your eyes closed and your breath open, I invite you to imagine the persons and objects surrounding you in your life. Just imagine them gathered around you. And now imagine that within each object and each person, a tiny point of divine light. A light which is called Paramatman, the light of the universal soul. And now contemplate that same singular and divine consciousness being present in all forms, not just in yourself, but in all people, all things, all situations, all universes, all dimensions. There's no difference in that basic underlying nature of anything, anywhere, or any time. Just know that everything that exists is nothing but a momentary manifestation of this universal energy within the fields of time and space. And then allow yourself to realize this and then expand beyond the boundaries of your perceived separate existence. No I versus that. No me versus not me. Contemplate the same consciousness and know that it is present in every form. There is no difference in it anywhere. Realizing that everything is pervaded by this consciousness, you transcend the boundaries of personal, separate experience, triumphantly rising above transmigratory existence. And that's the 100th verse of the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Just stay with those thoughts as I go through, continuing to breathe deeply while I just talk about this a little bit. So, this meditation was designed to remind us of the underlying oneness in all things, all persons. So, in this form of practice, we're once again reminded that everything that exists is nothing but a momentary appearance of a universal energy within a field of infinite time and space. There's only one substance appearing as everything in the universe. When we hold this thought, we begin to break through the rather superficial appearance of physical solidity and the separate existence of things. And as we hold our minds accountable for seeing the underlying oneness of each person, each animal, each plant, each object, each situation or thought, then that dualistic illusion of separation begins to dissolve. We glimpse that oneness of everything. Om Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shiva Svada Sadike Saranye Triambake Devi Narayane Namostute. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityoma Mritagamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I invite you to take a deep and clearing breath, letting go of our final meditational experience. Again, just checking in with yourself and noticing how you're feeling. The effects of our 3 meditations. Slowly bringing the palms of your hands together at your heart center. Giving gratitude to yourself for taking part in these practices and acknowledging the presence of that divine consciousness within and without. Slowly opening your eyes. And namaste. And thank you. So I hope you enjoyed those meditations, and I invite you to, through this series, find the ones that really speak to you and practice them, really make them your own. And I look forward to you joining me for these 9 nights ahead for Navaratri, the 9 nights of the Divine Mother. So have a wonderful evening. I invite you to take the feelings of these meditations with you ahead in the day and days to come. Blessings always. Jai Ma. Namaste. Have a wonderful night.